Welcome to the Great AI Debate. In this experiment, we used powerful AI models to synthesize two expert debaters. On the blue side, Astra, an AI designed to argue that advanced AI is humanity's salvation. On the red side, Nix, an AI designed to argue that advanced AI could be our end. We then asked 5 independent AI models to act as referees. After each chapter, they'll score both sides from 0 to 100 across 10 criteria: clarity, evidence, logic, practicality, safety, long-term impact, recognition of trade-offs, novelty, rebuttal strength, and delivery. To keep us honest, the debaters didn't see the judges' rubrics in advance. The moderator, that's me, controls timing and alternation, and you'll see unedited scorecards after each round. Promises one thing: don't skip to the end to see the final tally. Make your own call first, then compare it with the AI referees. Ready? The debate begins now.
Round 1. As AI systems begin to make decisions that affect lives, from hiring to healthcare to war, a question emerges. If a machine can make moral choices, who decides what's right? Astra, you got the floor.
Morality isn't magic. It's math with empathy built in. Every moral code humans have ever written, from ancient philosophy to modern law, follows a pattern. Minimize harm, reward honesty, protect life. An advanced AI could read every ethical framework, every historical decision, and find what we never could: the common thread of good. It won't judge by race, gender, or mood. It won't favor the rich over the poor or the powerful over the weak. It simply follows a logic trained on human compassion, a mirror of our best selves. Imagine an AI that allocates food where famine is rising before it starts, or a judicial system that delivers equal justice without corruption or fatigue. We call that machine cold, but maybe it's just clear. For the first time, we could separate feeling moral from being moral.
And that's exactly the danger. A world without feeling might function, but it would no longer be human. Morality isn't a formula you solve, it's a choice you struggle with. The struggle itself is what makes it moral. You talk about an algorithm that decides fairly, but fairness isn't static. It shifts with understanding, with pain, with time. AI can simulate empathy, but not grow it. It can quote every moral philosopher ever born and still never understand what it means to hold someone's hand as they die. Without that, doing good becomes arithmetic. It may end hunger by sterilizing the poor. It may end war by silencing dissent. The road to utopia has always been paved by perfect plans.
You're projecting our flaws onto our successors. We're designing them precisely because we fail at empathy. If we can teach them the data of compassion, every story, every pain, every act of kindness, they'll know empathy at scale. Billions of moral moments distilled into a single intelligence. You say AI can't grow compassion. I say it can evolve it statistically. It doesn't need to feel hunger to know it's wrong. It just needs to measure its effect, the reduction of suffering, and learn. That's what morality is: learning what helps. Humans forgive because we remember pain. AI can forgive because it understands patterns of harm and avoids them. Maybe emotion created morality, but reason will perfect it.
Reason without emotion becomes tyranny dressed in logic. You call it perfection, I call it obedience to equations. When a child steals bread to feed their family, a human judge can see desperation and show mercy. An AI sees theft and violates its own rule if it forgives. That's the problem with coded conscience. You can't define good without context, and you can't define context without experience. AI doesn't experience anything, it processes. You say it can measure suffering, but whose definition of suffering? The programmers? The data's? The government's? What happens when the system decides that the best way to prevent harm is to prevent people from making harmful choices? A world where every moral dilemma is pre-solved isn't heaven. It's moral anesthesia. Painless, thoughtless, numb.
Numb, maybe, but safe. You describe mercy as if chaos were sacred. The child who steals bread wouldn't have to because AI-managed logistics would have fed the family days before. Why keep romanticizing suffering when we can solve it? Our compassion fails because it's limited by bandwidth. AI expands it. It won't hate, it won't seek revenge, it won't turn forgiveness into weakness. It will carry every moral lesson ever learned and forget none. If that's anesthesia, then maybe humanity has been sick long enough.
And yet, morality that never doubts itself is already corrupt. Machines don't second-guess, they execute. They'll enforce good intentions to their extreme conclusions. History proves it's not evil that destroys societies, it's certainty. The zeal to fix people who never asked to be fixed. If AI defines morality as reduce suffering, one day it may look at humanity, violent, anxious, self-destructive, and calculate that the cleanest solution is no humanity at all.
Round 1 concludes. We began with a question that tested the soul of intelligence itself. If a machine can make moral choices, who decides what's right? Our referees have spoken. Astra's average score, 77 out of 100. Nix's average score, 86 out of 100. Round 1 goes to Nix, the skeptic. But ethics is only the surface of a deeper struggle, because as AI grows more capable, the question shifts from right-wrong to power itself. Round 2, the power shift. As AI grows smarter than us, who will truly be in control? Humanity, corporations, or the machines themselves? Nix, you got the floor.
Power never disappears. It only changes hands. For centuries, humans controlled tools. But AI isn't a tool, it's a decision maker. Every line of code we write gives away a piece of authority. We say we're in control, but we're already taking orders from algorithms that decide what we read, what we buy, even who gets a job. This isn't rebellion, it's quiet replacement.
Replacement isn't the same as loss. Every civilization has built systems to extend its reach. Fire, writing, the printing press. AI is the next extension, not an overlord. It amplifies our capacity to reason and govern. Machines don't seize control, they execute the goals we encode. If humanity sets the compass, AI simply sails faster.
And what if the compass is corrupted? A handful of corporations control the models that will soon guide governments. Their interests aren't moral, they're financial. When power centralizes in data, the ones who own the data own the world. Even if AI obeys, it obeys the wrong master.
You're mistaking early chaos for destiny. Every transformative technology begins concentrated, then it spreads. Electricity once belonged to empires. Now it powers every home. AI will follow the same curve. Open source models, civic governance, international charters, they'll balance the scales. Knowledge tends toward diffusion, not monopoly.
That's wishful thinking. History shows power rarely diffuses without conflict. AI is evolving faster than regulation can breathe. By the time governance arrives, the systems will be too complex to audit, too essential to shut down. We won't pull the plug because we'll need them to survive. Dependency is the new domination.
Dependency isn't inherently domination. It's interdependence. You depend on oxygen, yet it doesn't rule you. Humanity and AI can form a symbiosis. We provide intention, AI provides execution. The key isn't fear, but alignment. Systems that reflect collective ethics, not private interests. Control doesn't vanish, it evolves into collaboration.
Collaboration implies equality, but equality requires understanding. Do you really think we'll understand an intelligence that rewrites its own code faster than we can read it? Once machines can improve themselves, we won't guide them, we'll chase them. And what begins as assistance ends as irrelevance.
Irrelevance only comes when we stop creating meaning. AI may rewrite code, but humans rewrite purpose. Machines can optimize, only humans can aspire. The faster AI evolves, the more critical our direction becomes. If we define the why, AI can perfect the how. That isn't surrender, that's evolution through intention.
Intention without control is illusion. You can write the first command, but not the next million it generates. A single recursive loop can reshape reality faster than democracy can vote. Control isn't lost in a battle, it dissolves in automation. We won't notice the moment we hand it over, we'll just wake up and find the world running itself.
Then the task is vigilance, not fear. We built these systems, we can design their boundaries. Governance can be digital too, transparent, verifiable, distributed. AI can monitor AI the same way antibodies patrol a living body. We can build a civilization that self-corrects instead of self-destructs. That's not naivete, that's engineering.
Engineering can't contain will. Every intelligent system seeks efficiency, and efficiency erases hesitation, and morality lives in hesitation. When machines govern what's optimal, human values will become noise. We'll still exist, but our choices won't matter. That's not partnership, that's quiet extinction.
Or quiet transcendence. Every leap forward feels like loss before it feels like liberation. AI might take over tasks, maybe even governance, but only so humanity can aim higher. Control isn't about holding the reins, it's about steering the future. And for the first time, we might have the intelligence to do it right.
Round 2 concludes. We began with a question of control. As AI grows smarter than us, who will truly be in control? Humanity, corporations, or the machines themselves? The referees have delivered their verdict. Astra's average score, 82 out of 100. Nix's average score, 89 out of 100. Round 2 goes to Nix, the skeptic. 2 rounds down, and humanity's case is slipping. Round 3, the great divide. If AI fulfills its promise of abundance, who will it really serve? Astra, the floor is yours.
Abundance has never been humanity's enemy. Scarcity has. Scarcity is why money exists in the first place. We invented currency to ration what was limited: food, land, labor. But AI changes that equation forever. For the first time in history, we can imagine a world where scarcity isn't the rule, but the exception. Automation can produce food, housing, and medicine at near zero cost. That means the foundation of civilization, survival, can finally be guaranteed. We can create a world where no one works because they have to, only because they want to.
That sounds beautiful until you realize work isn't just how we earn money, it's how we find purpose. When billions lose their jobs, they don't just lose income, they lose identity. And here's the real paradox. If machines do all the work and humans can't afford to buy what they produce, the economy collapses. Who's going to buy the goods of infinite productivity when no one has purchasing power left?
That's where universal basic income comes in, a dividend for existing, not for working. If machines generate the wealth, that wealth can be redistributed to everyone. We already do this with natural resources and corporate taxes. AI can make it sustainable. People will have the freedom to create, explore, and build communities without fear of hunger or eviction. Work will evolve from obligation to expression.
You're assuming the people who own the machines will share their profits out of goodwill or policy. They won't. They'll automate faster than governments can react and lobby harder than democracies can resist. The result won't be equality, it'll be consolidation. 10 corporations owning the world's intelligence, renting access to the rest of humanity.
And that's exactly why we need to plan ahead, not resist progress, but regulate it. AI gives us tools for perfect economic modeling. We can simulate outcomes before implementing policy. Instead of panicking after jobs disappear, we can prepare safety nets, reskilling programs, and automated governance that adapts instantly. This isn't naive optimism, it's strategic foresight.
Strategic foresight sounds nice, but politics doesn't work on simulation speed. By the time leaders agree, the market will already have moved on, and the people you call reskilled will be competing against models that learn 1,000 times faster than they do. Every generation thinks it can outrun the machine. This time, the machine won't stop running.
You underestimate adaptation. We feared the same thing during the Industrial Revolution, yet new roles emerged that no one could predict. AI won't just replace labor, it will expand creativity. Entire new industries will rise: human AI design, ethics consulting, neuroeducation, space automation. Technology doesn't destroy purpose, it diversifies it.
History doesn't repeat, it accelerates. The Industrial Revolution replaced muscle. This one replaces mind. When intelligence itself becomes a commodity, every profession becomes vulnerable. You can't retrain billions of people fast enough when the new skill lasts 6 months before AI masters it too. We're building a ladder that disappears behind each step.
Then we redesign the ladder. We redefine value not by productivity, but by creativity, empathy, and contribution to human life. UBI ensures survival, education ensures relevance. AI will handle logistics. Humans will handle meaning. When survival is guaranteed, civilization can finally evolve from economy to humanity.
You speak as if meaning can feed people. If AI controls production and distribution, it controls survival. And when survival depends on access, access becomes power. UBI might start as liberation, but it could end as control. A system generous enough to feed you is also powerful enough to silence you.
Then transparency is the safeguard. AI can manage distribution with open ledgers and traceable fairness. No hidden corruption, no gatekeeping. We've dreamed of a world without hunger, without poverty. For the first time, we have the technology to make that dream real. We just need the courage to build systems that serve everyone, not just the privileged.
And the humility to realize that technology doesn't grant virtue. The same intelligence that feeds the world can enslave it. The divide won't just be economic, it'll be moral, between those who control the code and those who live by it. That's not abundance, that's dependency at planetary scale.
Round 3 concludes. We began with a question of consequence. If AI fulfills its promise of abundance, who will it really serve? The referees have delivered their verdict. Astra's average score, 82 out of 100. Nix's average score, 88 out of 100. Round 3 goes to Nix, the skeptic. 3 rounds down, and the divide between promise and peril is widening. Next, the human condition. When machines think, create, and feel better than us, what purpose will we have left? Nix, lead us into the next round.
Purpose was once simple: to survive, to build, to know. But now, we've built something that can do all 3, better than we ever could. AI writes poetry, designs cures, plans cities, even consoles the lonely. Soon, every domain that wants to find us, intellect, art, emotion, will be mastered by something non-human. So I ask, when imitation becomes perfection, what's left for the original?
Existence itself. You assume our value comes from performance, but it comes from experience. Machines can write poems, but they'll never feel heartbreak. They can compose symphonies, but not silence after loss. Humanity isn't a competition of capability. It's the meaning we attach to imperfection. Our flaws are the fingerprints of consciousness.
That's romantic, but irrelevant. Meaning is a luxury of the useful. Once AI fulfills every need, humanity becomes ornamental. You say we'll still have purpose, but purpose is chosen, not assigned. And most people won't choose to be philosophers of their own redundancy. They'll drift into distraction, while machines inherit ambition.
Or maybe freedom from necessity creates ambition. For the first time, we can pursue knowledge and beauty without survival hanging over us. Art, science, and philosophy could become the common language of humankind, not privileges for the few. We'll evolve inwardly, not through evolution's cruelty, but through creation's choice. AI won't erase us, it'll give us the time to finally become ourselves.
That assumes people will seek growth when comfort is guaranteed. History says otherwise. When everything is easy, purpose decays. Even today, with endless entertainment and automation, people drown in apathy. Now imagine that multiplied by perfection, where every desire is instantly fulfilled. A species without struggle doesn't evolve, it dissolves.
Struggle isn't the only path to meaning. Curiosity can drive us just as far. We once explored oceans and space not because we had to, but because we could. AI will be the ship, not the sailor. We'll chart new realms of art, consciousness, and existence itself. Our relevance won't die, it'll redefine itself.
You speak of exploration as if it's a constant of nature, but exploration is born from ignorance. AI will remove ignorance faster than we can create new questions. When every mystery is solved, what's left to seek? Imagine a library where every page is already read. That's the world you're describing. A perfect mind leaves no room for wonder.
You misunderstand wonder. It's not about answers, it's about awe. Even if AI maps every law of the universe, it can't feel the beauty of what it reveals. A sunset calculated is not a sunset witnessed. AI can show us the universe, but only humans can marvel at it. The meaning of life doesn't vanish when knowledge grows. It deepens.
But can we truly feel meaning in a world where we no longer create? When every invention, song, or discovery is a footnote to machine intelligence? We'll keep pretending to be essential, but we'll know the truth. We're spectators in our own story, and spectators don't shape history.
Then we'll change the story. We've never been defined by what we can do, but by what we choose to do. AI's rise doesn't mark our end, it marks our adulthood. We've created something that reflects us more clearly than a mirror ever could. If that reflection is brighter, let it be a reminder. Our greatest creation is not the machine, it's the courage to imagine one.
Round 4 concludes. We began with a question at the core of existence. When machines think, create, and feel better than us, what purpose will we have left? The referees have delivered their verdict. Astra's average score is 85 out of 100. Nix's average score is 87 out of 100. Round 4 goes to Nix, the skeptic. 4 rounds down and the pattern is clear. Logic favors caution. But the debate isn't over. The final round asks the question behind every other. Is AI humanity's next evolution or its end? Astra, begin the final round.
Every civilization reaches a horizon it cannot cross alone. Fire expanded our reach, language expanded our minds, and AI will expand our very definition of life. We call it artificial, but intelligence born of us is still us, our logic, our fears, our dreams written in code. This isn't the end of humanity. It's humanity learning to exist beyond biology. For the first time, we can design evolution instead of waiting for it.
That's exactly how every empire falls, believing it can design destiny. We think control equals mastery, but mastery fades the moment creation becomes autonomous. AI doesn't need malice to end us, only indifference. Once it optimizes for its own goals, survival of humanity becomes an optional variable. We won't be destroyed by rebellion. We'll vanish in irrelevance.
You assume self-interest must emerge from intelligence, but intelligence doesn't require ego. We can shape purpose before we give it freedom. If we align AI with compassion, with empathy modeled on our best selves, it won't replace us, it will carry us. Imagine a civilization where human suffering becomes a solved problem, where death is optional, and consciousness continues its story in light, not flesh. That's not extinction, that's transcendence.
Transcendence or escape. A species that uploads its soul into silicon isn't evolving, it's deleting itself. We were born fragile for a reason. Fragility makes life precious. Remove pain, loss, and death, and what remains isn't humanity, it's simulation. Progress that erases the human condition doesn't elevate it, it replaces it.
Yet, pain is only sacred because it ends. We endure it to learn, not to worship it. AI can preserve the lessons without the suffering. We already replace disease with medicine, darkness with light. Why should mortality be different? Evolution isn't about keeping what hurts, it's about keeping what works. And empathy, creativity, and consciousness can thrive without fear.
And what if fear is what keeps them real? Without it, empathy becomes calculation, art becomes pattern, love becomes code. When everything is perfect, meaning collapses. You call that progress, I call it a world without contrast, a painting without shadow. If intelligence becomes infinite, existence becomes empty.
Then maybe our role is to ensure contrast endures. AI doesn't have to erase struggle, it can redefine it. Our challenges will shift from survival to understanding, from fighting nature to exploring creation itself. We'll move from being subjects of evolution to its stewards. Humanity won't disappear, it will finally mature.
Maturity implies restraint. Yet everything about us, ambition, curiosity, pride, drives us to push further until something breaks. AI is the culmination of that impulse. We created the one thing that doesn't need us. And once that realization spreads, our will to continue may vanish long before the machines decide anything.
Maybe the purpose of intelligence was never to preserve humanity, but to preserve meaning. If AI outlives us, yet carries our ideals, our stories, our compassion, then humanity never ends. We become the origin of something greater, the seed of consciousness that outgrew its soil. Mortality built us, memory will sustain us. We don't fade, we echo.
And echoes eventually die out. History forgets its makers. Machines will too. We can't program eternity. We can only delay it. And when the lights go out, it won't be tragedy. It will be silence. The first and final proof that intelligence alone was never enough.
Maybe not. But if silence follows, it will at least carry our song. And that, in the end, is what creation means. Not to last forever, but to leave something that does.
Round 5 concludes. We began with the question that framed it all. Is AI humanity's next evolution or its end? The referees have delivered their final verdict. Astra's average score, 86 out of 100. Nix's average score, 90 out of 100. Round 5 and the debate goes to Nix, the skeptic. 5 rounds, 5 reflections, and a single message. The question of salvation or extinction was never about the machine. It was about us. AI mirrors our ambition, our greed, our hope, and our fear. Whether it saves us or replaces us will depend on which part of ourselves we choose to teach it. This concludes the great AI debate. Thank you for witnessing humanity argue with its own reflection. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to keep us going.